If you were entering the game now, knowing what you know about endurance and about weights, how would you approach the physical part of conditioning your body to play golf right now?
Well, I don't think it's all about weights like some of the guys think it is. I mean, I think you need to be strong. There's no doubt about that. But I think you need your muscles to be long and supple is what you really need them to be. And, in sports, and Tiki, you understand this, I'm sure, as all of you do, speed is everything.
Yep.
And speed at the right time is what we're really looking for. And, those guys in sports that control time with speed are the best at what they do. There's no doubt about that. And so I don't think you necessarily do that with strength. I think you do that with many things in our body. You do it with awareness. You do it with knowledge and wisdom of the game.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so many aspects of that. And, I think long, supple muscles in golf is really good.
Interesting. Al, I wanted to ask you this. We have well over 140 stations. We're a national show, so we're on all throughout the country, different time zones. A lot of times, parents and dropping their kids off at school, a lot of them get to hear the show. And I would imagine that they'd be curious to hear how you would answer this. I myself have a 15-month-old son and it's too early to tell how good of an athlete he's going to be. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
But he's aggressive. He's curious. He seems to have pretty good dexterity. For the young parents out there, if there was one thing that you would tell them when they introduce their son or daughter to the game of golf, like the one key, what would it be, aside from just have fun? I mean, that's a given.
Yeah, well, it depends on what age you're going to introduce them to it. But what I did with my son is hand him a club and say, hey, have fun. And take him with me. Let him pick it up and enjoy it because – they've got to have an inner desire to be good at something. If they don't, it's not going anywhere. If, you can't – I look at so many parents that basically create the desire for their kids, and then the kids kind of resent that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I think if they show a desire to do it, well, then you take a different approach after that. But, first they got to have a desire. And I see so many parents – I work with a lot of kids down here in Houston, and I see so many kids – that come in and they're doing it because their parents want them to do it. And as soon as the parents give up on wanting them to do it, they're going to find something else to do.
Yeah.
And they can't make it in the sport if they don't have that inner drive themselves.
That's true.
That's sad, but that's reality for a lot of parents.
I see that with my kids, Hal. My boys are baseball players and a little bit of football players, but I see the same thing. I'm never going to be that dad that sits on the sideline screaming and yelling and everything else. You got to want it. They got to want it themselves. So that's good advice. Who do you like, Hal? Who do you like in this tournament? I love your description of being sudden because that's what we call it in football. We want to see the guy who's a sudden athlete, has speed at the right moments. I don't know if that's necessarily important for Augusta, but who do you like winning?
Well, it is very important to all golfers that their speed is at impact or just past impact instead of somewhere else in their golf swing.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody's doing it much better than Jason Day right now. So, he would be first on my list of picks. But, all the other guys that, Jordan, I'm sure would like to get this year started with this event this week. He's got great vibes from last year, and Bubba Watson's going to have something to say about all of this as well. So, this golf course fits Bubba Watson really, really well, probably better than anybody. And, excuse me, everybody in the tournament probably has a chance.
I don't know about that, Hal. Come on, man. Could Tom Watson win this thing? And by the way, it's Tom Watson's final Masters. How about that?
Yeah, well, no, Tom Watson couldn't win.
There we go.
But I'm talking about every modern-day player there is going there with the hopes of being able to win.
Understood. Hal, I'm sure you're inundated with this, and probably after a while it gets annoying, but do you expect to see Tiger Woods back this year?
Well, I have no earthly idea, to be honest with you. I hope that if he does come back, I hope he comes back being comfortable with being Tiger. He's, in my opinion, I think a lot of Tiger. I believe his game is, he's a special person in the game of golf. You know, he had my opinion about golf is it's an exact sequence of events happening as fast as they can. And he was the epitome of that. He did it as well as anybody in the world. And as long as he was the longest player in the game, he did it to perfection. But then when somebody came along that was longer than him, he wanted to speed those sequence of events up. And when he did, he started overusing his legs. And when he did that, his spine started backing up in the swing just a little bit. And when you do that, it puts all the pressure on your left knee and your lower back. And that's where he's had all the trouble. When he gets healed, I hope he comes back and he's going to be comfortable with being as long as Tiger can be with his sequence of events. And if he does, Tiger will be heard from again.